Hi, welcome. Today's lesson is on elements, compounds, and mixtures. You're already familiar with the elements because we've talked about the periodic table. So elements are a specific type of atoms, these 118 types of atoms that are found on our periodic table. 92 of these elements, all the way up to uranium, are naturally occurring, and the rest are artificially produced. Some elements, when we talk about them, like copper or aluminum or helium, we write them like this, just with their elemental symbol. But some elements in nature do not exist just by an atom by themselves. They exist in a molecule form and a paired or diatomic molecule. So if I'm talking about hydrogen gas, I'm not really talking about H gas, or if I'm talking about oxygen, what we breathe in the air, it's not listed as O, it's listed as H2 or O2 or N2F2 Cl2 Br2 I2. Those are the other diatomic elements. So you can find them on the periodic table here because here's hydrogen, and then the rest kind of make a 7, and there's 7 altogether. So nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine all exist as paired or diatomic elements. Compounds, however, have to consist of 2 or more different elements, not the same element, but different elements. And you're familiar with many, many different compounds. Water is H2O, and salt is NaCl, or carbon dioxide is CO2. Compounds are 2 or more different elements that are chemically bonded together in a fixed ratio. So water is always H2O. It's not sometimes H3O or H2O2. Those are all different molecules. Water is always H2O. In nature, most things exist as mixtures. They could be mixtures of just elements or mixtures of just compounds, or you could have mixtures that had some elements and some compounds. When I try to visually represent this, I can do that with spheres, with each sphere of a different color representing a different element. So here I have 2 boxes at the top that are both elements. Here's one sphere. Here are 2 spheres together, but they're the same color. So this could be like oxygen is bonded together. So both of these boxes are a representation of what elements might look like if we could magnify them and see them. So here's one element here, and here's an element that's a diatomic element. Compounds have to have different elements bonded together. So when the spheres are touching each other, that represents a chemical bond. And here I can tell this is a compound because there's 2 different elements that are touching each other. This could be water, with the H's being the orangish spheres and the oxygen being blue sphere. And here's another representation of a compound, 2 different elements bonded together. And this could be like HCl as a different compound. And then you can have mixtures where you have different things in the box. So here I have some elements, 2 blues together, so some of these elements, plus some of these compounds that are mixed together, right? Here I have a mixture of these compounds, these elements, and these elements. So I have a mixture of these 3 boxes go here, and here I have a mixture of just elements. So here I have a mixture of elements and compounds. Here I have a mixture of elements and compounds, and here I just have a mixture of elements. If I put these 2 things together, I would have a mixture of compounds. So that's it. Today's lesson is pretty short. See you in class.